Hey, everybody, welcome. It's Dee Dee from Bongo Reading, and this is Friday Reads Live. This is where we talk about reading today, this weekend, and sometimes into the following week. So I'm waiting to see people come into the chat, and we can start talking about what we're up to with reading. I'm at kind of like I'm reading a lot of things, and it's kind of a weird year for that. I think I might be reading one, two, three, four, I think four books at one time. But these are books that I'm reading gradually over the year. And then this month I'm reading two books from my mammoth book stack. I have 10 mammoth books I'm supposed to be reading this year. And I'm in the process of reading two this month. One book on my mammoth book stack, I think I'm going to replace it with Bleak House. Since we're going to be doing a read along with Bleak House, I'm going to replace um, Tom Jones with Bleak House. And I'll just push Tom Jones either to probably to next year, the beginning of next year. I think I will read Tom Jones next year because I don't know if I'll get to it this year if I'm going to be reading Bleak House. So, welcome everybody. Hey Trace, hey Birdie, hey Alba, and hey Nicole. Welcome. Happy Friday. Birdie said she's working on the Golden Compass by Pullman. Isn't that a trilogy? I think it's a trilogy by one, if I'm not mistaken. And Jane Austen at Home. It's a nonfiction by Lucy Worsley. Okay, very nice. Nicole said she finished Vanishing Half, liked it more than you. Okay, very good. I mean, I wasn't mad at it, The Vanishing Half. It does have some resemblances to Passing by Nella Larson, but I liked it for the most part. I think I gave it 4 stars. I know I liked it a lot better than I liked her first novel, which was The Mothers, I think it was called. I did not like that novel very much, but I really Vanishing Half though. Let's see. Nicole said, "Yes, I'll start reading The Narrows next." Yeah, The Narrows is kind of long, but I think I'm going to keep it for the last 10 days of the month. I will be reading The Narrows. I want to get finished reading these two books before I start on The Narrows. Let's see. Tracy says, "First again, please, on when we're doing." Oh, we'll do a read along of Bleak House will be in October and November of this year. Mike said he's ready to join me. I'm not sure yet about Tatiana. I think she said she did want to join as well. So it'll be me and my posse, um, Michael and Tatiana, reading Bleak House with you guys along. Okay, wait, let's see. Wait, I missed something. Okay, so he says yes, it's a trilogy. Reading it with some friends, they were really upset with me that I've never read it either, but I have it here. I gave it to my husband because it's not really my cup of tea, but that's the kind of thing I would watch at the movies. I would not read that. I had a really nice used copy, and I asked my husband if he wanted to read it. He's going to have it, so I passed that off to him. Hello, Fatima. Welcome. Happy Friday. Let's see. Got out early. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Getting out early from work. Nicole said, "Credit the mothers and under the Dollar Tree for getting me back into reading." Okay, well, do what you got to do, girl. If that works for you, that's all that matters. Under the Dollar Trees, I have not read yet, but that's on my TBR. Alba said, "I finally started the sin of." Oh, it looks like there will be. Oh my God. Oh, Alba. Alba, hold. You're gonna be clutching the pearls. You yeah. It's so good. It's so good, that one. It's not one that a lot of people talk about, but Anna and I, we were just like mouth hanging open, like OMG. The mess that goes down in that book, that's like it's really, really, really good. Enjoy. Hey, Cher, happy Friday. Happy Friday, Rosa. Yeah, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. On Sunday. Hey, DL, how are you? Hi, Curtis. Welcome, welcome. What are you guys reading? And they just said, okay, October, November. Yeah, it's October, November. I'm going to put something on my community page here on YouTube of that. And I'll put something as well on my stories on IG so that people join in. And I'll probably try to open up a read along thing on the story graph. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that. So I will do that so everybody will have time to think about if they really want to do it. Just since we're on that subject, I have both of my copies of Bleak House here. So this is the copy that came in the vintage Red Spine edition. It has these model covers like this. Um, yeah, it's bad. I mean, the print's not too bad. It does have some pictures in here as well, I think. Let me see. Yeah, so it have like pictures like that in it. But this copy is coming in at 880 pages. All right. This one is the Penguin Library Edition. So actually, I had purchased this one first, but I purchased the complete copies, all the copies of the Dickens novels in Red Spines. They came together in a pack, and that's why I wound up with two editions. So this one is the Penguin English Library Edition, which is not a bad edition. It's a bit thicker though. And this one is coming in at I think 1,000 38 pages or something like that. Let's see, 1,000. No, it's a little. It's 1,083, I think. Yeah, 1,083 pages. This one. The it has pictures in it as well, like little drawings in it, and it's the font size isn't too bad. Um, so you can see there, it's not too bad the font size for this one. And she said it's 1,083 pages, whereas this one is 880. So I will probably be using this edition though when we read it. All right. So let's see. Fatima said that she's reading Casualties of Truth by Lauren Francis Shermer. That's a really good one. DL said listening to Kennedy Ryan can't get enough, and it's very good. All right. Pretty excited about Bleak House. Yeah, I'm excited about it as well because it's one of the ones I've been wanting to get to, and just I mean, I got to get to the rest of the Dickens. I can just finish this and get it over with. Um, Tashika says happy Friday. Finished The Death of the Author. It was interesting and long. Glad to finish it. Very good. Diel said gonna do Danielle Allen plus size player, and then S.A. Cosby King of Ashes. So let me know, Dia, when is King of Ashes being released? Is it in June or is it in July? I'm not sure. Let me know, or is somebody in here let me know if they know when that book, finally being released. Hello, Adventures in Literature. Welcome. What are you reading? Happy Friday. DL said also have This Side of Beautiful. It's a romance audio to get to by Tuesday. Very nice. Rosa says she's starting the Narrows this weekend. Tracy said such a page discrepancy. Why such a big? Probably because of the size of the size of the book, and then the way it's printed. So but there are there are different editions than these. These are one is vintage and one is penguin, but I mean, you can there are other editions as well you get. Or you may choose to get an audio edition instead because you prefer audio when the book is bigger. So it's up to you. Let's see. I think what I'll do is when I put like the for the reading for the day, I'll do it by chapters, so there won't be any page discrepancies. Curtis says, okay, finish reading Dust Child. Yeah, by Ego and Fan. Okay, Mike. Good, not great for me. Oh, okay, that's interesting. What was not? What didn't work for you in Dust Child? And she's still reading Half American by Matthew F. Delmont. Great read and highly recommend. Okay, very nice. Tracy's Casualties of Truth is really good. Alba says to Tracy, I'm wondering about the artistic choices for the covers. So different. Well, the thing about it is this edition is the vintage edition that was sold all the books together, and the theme was to make all of the covers look modern. And that's why I bought this one because I thought the covers looked really good. I mean, I'll have to do like some post where you can see the covers, but they're quite interesting the way they put these modern covers. So that's why this is like this. The other one with the Penguin English Library, that's a little bit, it's it's like a version cloth bound edition but in paperback. So the covers are particular to the story. So yeah. Let's see. Hi Sharon, how are you? Happy Friday. Oh, Pam's in the house. Happy Friday. How are you? What are you reading? Curtis said still reading a lucky man. Oh yeah, short stories. Jamel Brinkley, short story collection, and Let Love Rule, Lynn Kravitz with David Ritz. Okay. Um, Scroll G says just finished Miss Muriel and Other Stories by Ann Petrie. Okay, nice. Did you enjoy it? Uh, Scroll G says starting these letters and in tears music. Ted G said yeah. Okay. Tracy said yes. Alba, the cover is very different. Yeah. King of Ashes comes out on 10. Okay, that's all I need to know. Pam Pam said she's about to start The Dream Hotel by Laila Lalami and halfway through Agent Zoe by Claire Mully. Okay, yeah, I have the Dream Hotel on my VR as well. Tracy said to Curtis, Jamel Brinkley is masterful at short stories. And said, ooh, Lenny Kravitz. Yeah, we all like Lenny. Pam Pam said, when I finish Agent Zoe, I'm going to start Willie Rule, The Rise and Fall of 12 African Queens and Warriors by Paula Akpan. Oh, that sounds very interesting. Hey Lex, how are you? Happy Friday. Lex says she's reading The Filling Station by Vanessa Miller. Okay. Scroll G said yes, and Petrie short stories were excellent. That's all we need to know. Pam said got a new job while I was gone. Start later this month. Okay, bravo. Congratulations. I'm happy to hear it. Because I was like, where's Pam Pam? We haven't seen her in a while. Well, I'm glad you got a new job. Yay. Hope it works. And yeah, continued success in your job. Um, so what am I reading? Still reading The Potato Factory. Still enjoying this. And I started reading Le Rouge et Noir, and I am almost the first 25% in. I still have 40 pages left to get to the 25% mark of this. Just like, this is like real love story. This is like, I could see, women back in the 18th century reading this and going, "Ooh," like, because it's real love story. It's kind of cute, but kind of like, yeah. So yeah, I'm enjoying this one. This is turning out to be very interesting read. Um, okay. Okay, Curtis says to me, the author's writing did not grab me. Okay, he's talking about what's it called? Dust Girl, Dust something, Dust Child. Okay, okay. So the author's writing did not grab you, Dust Child, grab you enough. She overdid the descriptive writing for me in certain parts. That's all. Okay, all right. So she kind of like, when to quit. All right, that's interesting. And Curtis says to Tracy, and looking forward to reading the short story collection. Also have short story collection called Witness as well. Okay, very nice. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much. I'm only going to be reading that this weekend. I'm not going to be reading anything else, unless for some reason I have some of my longer reads. Like to read here and there. I will probably maybe pick up maybe one or two things for for the week, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is what I'm going to be focusing on. And say I'm be focusing more on this than on this, because I usually try to read this in one or two sittings, because we're reading about, like, I don't know, about 200 pages. Yeah, it's about 200 pages each section. So I try to read, yeah, in two sittings. If I don't mess around with it. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. Okay, did I miss something? Oh, hello, readers to read. What are you reading? Mm, So today I thought we could talk about, because on Sunday it's Mother's Day, and I was wondering, what books would you think would be good gifts to give mothers for Mother's Day? And another question, this is another good question. Was your mother a big reader? And if she was that like was that the thing that got you into wanting to read a lot? Was it because you saw your mother reading, or another member of your family reading, but particularly your mother, since it's Mother's Day? I'm interested to hear what you guys would do as recommendations, because I can think I can think of a few things. Uh, I I kind of like, I thought of a few things. I was like, not sure, because I also think it depends on what your mother is like, but I think it's also good to hear the kinds of recommendations you would give to people who want to buy a book for their mother. Let's see. Okay, so Jill said, I get my love of reading from my mom. There you go. He's cold. Oh my God, your mom's like it, devouring the books. She would listen to audiobooks while working and going, and she was going through a book a day. Wow, damn, a book a day. Ooh, child, that's a lot. I was like, ma'am, I can't afford. Well, I guess I mean, if you got the library behind you, you're okay. Well, I mean, I don't know now. I don't know if you can count on it now, but let's see. Cher said, no one at all in my family was a big reader. Oh, that's a, yeah. I don't know how I got so lucky, but books were my world since before I could read. My grandmother really encouraged it, even if she found reading hard. Yeah, it's kind of interesting you said that because, like, my mom was a reader. I wouldn't say she was a big reader, but she was a reader. My grandmother was a big reader of the newspaper. So she read the newspaper from cover to cover every day. Um, and my uncle was a big reader. He was always reading something. He looked like he wasn't reading it, but he was reading. He was reading. Let's see. Readers Gotta Read is reading Happy Land. Okay, very nice. Pam Pam said Mother's Day is in March for us. Yeah, it's not the same day here in France. In France, it's the end of May. Um, but still had a panic there. My mom does not read at all. Oh no. Oh, but your grandmother on her side was a massive reader and never without a book nearby. Oh, very nice. Tracy said her mom and dad were both avid readers, so her love for reading stems from both. Okay, very nice. DL said she loved Warmth of Mother's Sons, books like that. Okay, your mom was killing it. Like she's reading the real stuff. I can't imagine reading that in one day though. Wow, she's good. Let's see. They said my mom was a huge reader when I was growing up. She's trying to get back into it now. She's actually been asking recommendations. Okay, really nice. Maybe you and your mom could read a book together. Do like a little buddy read. DL said, yeah, I had to hook her up with Scrib, now Everran, and the library, because who I know that's some come on now. Albert said my mom read to my kids before bed every night and they learned how to read at an early age. Very nice. Because I feel like that's how it happens usually is, when you have somebody, when you're reading to your kids, bedtime stories fairly young, this gets them into the idea of wanting to know what that is, wanting to hold the book, and the next thing you know, they're wanting to read it. So yeah, it's a really good practice that parents should pick up, have that in their mind for when the kids, and it can start really young. I mean, even when they're like, 6 months, you can be reading them a story. You can be reading them a story when they're 3 months. You know. Bray said my grandmother is also a big reader. Actually, gifting her for Mother's Day a copy of the Lost Book. Oh, yeah, the Lost Bookshop. Okay. She likes those like family drama type books or anything with a dual timeline. Okay, yeah. Hey Sharon. Sharon says my mom's a reader, but all of her kids are big readers. Okay, there you go. Rosa said my mom was a big reader. I always knew when she was reading to leave her alone. If she was alive today, I would probably get her a type book. Maybe something by what is her name? Political thriller. I'm trying to think of a good political thriller. I think about that. Said both parents were readers, but I saw my father reading everything. That's really good. Pam Pam said, even though mom isn't a reader, she always bought me books and made sure I had my library card ASAP. Okay, that's very good. Said, no, my mom isn't and gets mad if I point that out. Oh, no. However, my mom really wanted me to learn how to read early. She made my older brother help with teaching me how to read. That's pretty cool. All right. Mm, you know, being a big reader is something that's really special, but like sometimes you think your kids aren't gonna, readers because they go through certain periods of being young, they're not really into it. And then as they grow older, they get into it. Things can change. Reader's Gotta Read says yes, she's a reader and was a teacher. Oh, very nice. Tilly, hey, how are you? Happy Friday. No problem. You're always welcome. What are you reading? Okay, Bertie said, my dad read a lot when I was growing up, but since he remarried and I have younger siblings, he doesn't read anymore. Oh, yeah, okay. Um, Rosa said, my mom liked politics and drama. uh, yeah, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of drama. Okay, the politics, I can do it out, but the drama, no, it's not bad. Bertie said, I read a lot to my younger siblings, and they go through books like it's nobody's business now. Love graphic novels. Yeah, I haven't read a graphic novel in a minute. Now that you brought that up, I might need to put a graphic novel on my list this month to read. I love a good graphic novel. Um, Tracy says to Rose, do you think Mom would have liked 40 Acres by Dwayne Alexander Smith? She probably would have liked, for sure, S.A. Cosby. That's for sure. I think your mom would have loved S.A. Cosby. And she might have would have liked the 40 Acres. I don't know, though, if Rose has read 40 Acres. Pam Pam said, I stopped reading for a couple of years after high school as I felt school ruined it for me. I had a job, picked up a tailor of two cities, and was hooked. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna have to have a talk about that as well. You know, did you feel that school ruined books for you or that it enticed you to read more? We're gonna have to do that maybe next week. Because that's like a lot of the reason why some people read the way they read as adults because of backlash from high school. Uh, Curtis said my mother was not a big fiction reader, but she did read certain magazines. My father told me she did a good amount of reading when she was pregnant with me. Okay, that's interesting. I wonder if she read out loud while she's pregnant with you. That's funny. Rosie said to Tracy, yes, she would have enjoyed that one. You see? Okay. Timmy says, mom used to be more of a reader when she was younger, okay, and is trying to get back to it. I gifted her a copy of Sugar last year. You see, that's one of the books that I would put on Mother's Day list if they hadn't already read it. I would definitely Sugar list for sure. Yeah, because I don't know. Mom read a lot of everything. I think she read a lot of mysteries. Big mystery reader because whenever she would come over and stay with us, she would pick up something in the airport, and it would be a mystery. And she left here one last time she came. She left a copy of Walter Mosley. I can't remember the name of the one she left though. It was a weird one. I think it was some kind of Walter Mosley book. Was some kind of sci-fi something called The Wave or something like that. And really, and she wound up leaving it behind. I still have it. I still haven't read it. Alba said we didn't have access to the latest books in the mountains, but my mom did read devotional and inspirational things, and she could recite poetry in Spanish from back in the day. Wow, that's nice. Yeah, the poetry reciting is such a cool thing. And I even think because like that's what you do in school now. I don't think they do that anymore in school. I don't know, maybe Alba or Rosa, since we're around the same age. Maybe you remember doing this, but I remember in school we always had to recite something like literally memorize portions of text from certain books. And at the time when you're doing it, thinking, oh my God, oh, I have to stand in front of the class and say this. And then after you do it, you feel so much better about it. And then later on in life, when somebody starts saying, friends, Romans, countrymen, and then you hear someone, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. And then you just kind of like, whoa, it comes out of your mouth like that. It's really funny. But I think it's a great way for students to, young people to connect with text is to have to, like recite, portions of the text and stuff. But I don't think they do that anymore. I don't, in school. I don't think they do. Let's see. Okay, said I remember my mom vividly reading Black Beauty to me when I was really little, and my grandmother read Little Women to me, and it's still one of my favorite. Yeah, of course. Was it touched? No, it was called The Wave. It was called The Wave. Um, Tinley says to Tracy, she's enjoying it so far. She and my dad have been on vacation this week, and she's had more of an opportunity to get into it. Okay, cool. Alba said we had to memorize from Hamlet tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Yeah, we didn't have to do that. We had to do the Merchant of Venice, and we had to do Caesar. We also had to do something from Dickens as well. I can't remember what it is right now. I have to think. We had to memorize some portion of Dickens as well. I mean, it was like crazy. Pam said we didn't really recite, but I remember analyzing Wilfred Owen poetry, and it really connecting with me. Now I remember the first poetry that I remember really connecting with is E. E. Cummings. I don't know if people know who he is, E. E. Cummings, but all of his poetry is usually written in lowercase letters, and the poetry is like as a young person you connect with it really easily, and I really liked E. E. Cummings. So yeah, I mean, memorizing little sections is really good. Um, it's not something that I do nowadays, but I kind of wish I had done over the years of reading is actually memorize certain sections of certain books because I just think that's kind of a cool thing to be able to do is you say a book, the title of a book, and you can say, oh, I know a quote from that book. And you're able to pull out a quote from the book. I think that's something that's pretty cool to be able to do. And I kind of regret not having memorized some important lines and things from books. Yeah, it's good for your memory, but I just think it's a cool part of it. It's the kind of thing you make people go, oh my God, you read that and you can, like pull up and then up, you pull out, a quote or sugar up, you pull out a quote. I just think that's kind of cool. Um, but it's just a good way to connect with books when you're young because sometimes when you're young, you just don't get it. You just don't get it. Sometimes you just don't get it, and it's it is what it is. You don't get it. Tracy said, "Oh, I see the wave. Yeah, by Walter Mosley came out in 2000. Yeah, it's crazy that I never heard of that one. I'm usually up on all Mosley. Well, I feel like it's like some kind of a sci-fi book. I didn't really pay attention to really what it was, but I think it is a sci-fi. Being that Walter Mosley is writes like so many different types of books. He's not writing one type of genre. He writes a lot of different genre, but I think this was maybe not one of his more popular books, The Wave, but she picked up at the airport. I always said I want to read mother books. Oh, you want to read mother books this month? In My Mother's Footsteps by Mona Holiday and Las Madres by Esmeralda Santiago. Okay. Yeah, and then there's also have you read In Search of My Mother's Garden? That one is really good too. That's a great book to gift someone. Another book I was thinking about, and I haven't read this book, but I think it would be a nice book to gift a mother, particularly one that likes gardening, is Soil. I think that would make a beautiful gift um, for a mother for Mother's Day. Um, yeah, that's just one that popped in my head all of a sudden was Soil for sure. Really good book. Um, Also, another good one would be no, I have not read The Dream Hotel yet. I was thinking about reading it this month, but I don't think I'm going to get to it. I maybe won't get to it until next month. But I haven't heard very many people talk about it, so I don't really know what people think about the Dream Hotel. I'm thinking they're not loving it because I'm not hearing a lot of people say it's really good. So yeah, I don't really know what to think about that. Now I remember her last book that I read was I think it was called The Other Americans. I read that and I think it was just a 3 star for me. It was yeah, it was just a 3 star. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't great. Pam Pam said just had a Waterstones packet. Ooh, what did you get? Tracy says Walter Mosley has only stayed within the same genre with his Easy Rollins series. Everything else is so very yeah. Well, that's kind of normal. That's normal. I mean, he has his his Easy Rollins series is yeah, it's detective, mystery kind of thing. But then he has written sci-fi. He's written erotica. He's written what else? Kind of like a literary fiction. He's written a little bit of everything. DL said she's supposed to be reading Devil in a Blue Dress with the Stacks podcast. Oh, the Devil in a Blue Dress is so good. It's the beginning of the series. It's the beginning of the it's the beginning of his mystery series. So I think you're gonna like it. Easy Ones is really good. And with each, what I like about the Easy Rollins series is that with each book, you build on the character of Easy, but not only that, you the time is evolving as well as you go through each book, and you start to see all of the permanent characters. Mouse is fantastic. The best character in Easy Rollins, besides Easy, is Mouse. Oh my God, Mouse, either one. Um, I just like the way that series is done. I think it's just done so well. And each mystery is very particular, and sometimes, yeah, bring out surprises and things like that. It's just really done super well that series. Um, Latrice says Easy Rollins is pretty good. Birdie says Easy Rollins. I need to read more of those. I really enjoy the Devil in the Blue book. Okay, I enjoyed Devil in the Blue Dress, the book, not the film. I did not like the film. If you've seen the film and you've read the book, you understand why I did not like the film. Mm. Hello, Latrice. What are you reading? Um, but we're trying to think of Latrice are books that you could give as a Mother's Day gift. What kind of books? Which and was your mother a big reader? Is that where you got your love of reading from? Is from your mom or from some other member in your family? That's what we're talking about today. Let's see. Um, I'm trying to think of another book. I thought of Soil. Soil is a really good book, I think, to give as a gift. Um, there was another one that popped in my head as well that I thought would be really good. Okay, so Scroll G said, I I did not like the film with a whole chest. I'm the same. I did not like that film either. It was a joke. Rosa said yes. With Easy, the children grow up, the times change. I love it. I haven't read them all, though I think I stopped at number 8 or 9. Soul has a beautiful cover. I haven't read that. Yeah, that one that was done by what's his name? Oh my god, what is the guy's name? I can't. He's the one that pulled that one out and published. That was one of his books, the first books he published under his publishing company. I can't think of the guy's name. Yadun Israel had put that one together with his publishing company. That was one of his first or second acquisitions, and it got. I think it did. I think it did really well on Soil. Let's see. Okay, Latrice, my mom has always read, but my love of reading came from my biological father. He used to hoard comics and books, so that's where I got it from. Okay, so your biological father was the ravenous reader and collector. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. DL said some, mostly including Double Blue Dress, are in Kindle Unlimited if you're a member. There you go. I'm not in Kindle Unlimited, but I think a lot of people in here are on Kindle Unlimited, so that's a or if there's any people listening that are in Kindle Unlimited, that's good to know if you're interested in reading um, the Easy Rollins series. They have it on Kindle Unlimited. Tracy put Spoil nonfiction by Camille Dungy is excellent. Nicole said I was going to listen to Soil, but then I was turned off on listening to the, why were you turned off on listening to the first chapter? Well, who's reading it? Because I don't know who's reading Soil. And why were you turned off? What happened, girl? What happened? Because that book is supposed to be excellent. Latrice said my mom only reads Christian books for the most part now, and I did her the personal librarian, which she liked, but I don't think I'd give her any books. Well, you probably don't want to give her any of the romance you'd be reading, I don't think, because that would not go down well with your mom, I don't think. So she said I recommend Ladies Tan Circle of Women. I've not read that. That is Amy Tan, I think, but I've not read any Amy Tan. So I need to correct that. I know I need to read the Joy Luck Club. I need to get into the program. She said my mom was a reader and my grandmother. Okay, I am a bigger reader now. My mom comes to me for recommendations. Very nice. So good. Yes, Yadun also published Temple Folks. Sure did. Absolutely. Not read Temple Folks though. Nicole said someone described Devil in a Blue Dress film as insight into the struggles of a black woman. Oh my god, a mess. DL said I have audio, so I'm going to immersive read it. I think you're talking about Devil in the Blue Dress. Let's see. Latrice said, now that I think about it, she'd like Happy Land. Okay. She said I could give her some DL books. She can handle that. Okay. All right. So yeah, you could get your mama some cool gifts, book gifts. But yeah, I'm trying to think. So tell me, Nicole, what was wrong with the audio of Soil? Because I'm curious by that. And who's reading it? Rose has said, my mom would have loved the warmth of other sounds. Yeah, definitely. Nicole said, I don't know. I felt like, why should I care about this woman and her garden in Colorado? But why? You should. Just a black woman Like, she the only black woman in the neighborhood trying to do this damn garden. She trying to maneuver this predominantly white neighborhood as a black woman wanting to do a garden. Girl, get the book. Get the book and read it. Rosa said it was a bit of everything. What was a bit of everything? I don't remember what we're talking about. Mm, I don't remember what we're talking about. Nicole said, yeah, I don't know, Nicole. I think you need to give that another. I think you need to give that another try. Because everybody that reads Soil gives it 5 stars. They say it's really, really good. Uh, Tracy said to Nicole, maybe leave the audio and just read the book. Trust is good. See, Tracy telling you. Latrice said I should give her Harlem Rhapsody and make her mad, but I want it off my shelf. Oh, you don't like it that much? Well, then maybe give it to your mama. If you think, like you think it make her mad, you have to give it to somebody else. Mm, I don't know. It's not on my. It's my TBR for the moment. Harlem Rhapsody. Um, Rosa said to Nicole, soil may be best enjoyed by people who like to garden, maybe. Exactly. It also might be who is reading the audiobook. Maybe the audiobook isn't read well. I have no idea. I'm just trying to, come up with ideas why, which could be the reason why you had trouble with it. Tracy said, make sure to hit the like button. Thank you, Tracy. I guess you didn't listen to the audio, did you, Tracy? Yeah, probably just read the book. Because sometimes audios don't help. They really don't. I know a lot of people they can read better, just by listening to an audio, but sometimes it don't work because it's read in a manner. Um, like I know I'm going to be reading later on this year. At some point, I'm going to be reading love songs of W.B. Boys, and I am hesitating on whether I should go with reading immersively, reading and doing the audio together, or just leaving off the audio because I've heard so many people say they did not like the audio. Like I remember Latrice said, no, hell no to the audio. So I'm wondering what I'm going to do with that. So we're going to see, but yeah, the audio can sometimes help, but sometimes be a hindrance. I'm just saying, it can be a real hindrance. Yeah, I didn't think you listened to the audio either. I don't think I would listen to an audio for Soil. I think I would definitely just read a book. Let's see, for I was talking about what you had said about love songs that you didn't like the audio. I remember you saying you didn't like the audio. Tashika said that's an interesting point, Dee Dee, about reading. I know some people who don't like reading. I often wonder why, not judging. Look, people often have, I feel like they have issues around reading. For example, like maybe in school, almost everything they had to read was something that they were not interested in. And so then that, for them, it becomes a point of, I was bored and I didn't like that. And I had to do that 4 years in high school. So those kind of people may not, like reading. And then you can also have people that have learning disabilities. So, for example, who suffer from dyslexia or other learning disabilities. When to college is when I became friends with a lot of people, different people that had learning disabilities like dyslexia, and so they had found ways of getting past having difficulty reading, reading with a patch over one eye, and a lot of other a lot of tactics to get them to be able to read normally and to enjoy it. So there's plenty of reasons why people don't like to read. And it's also because it is for the most part, a sedentary activity. The sedentary activity where you only have you, yourself, and the book to entertain you. So some people find that excellent entertainment. Others find that boring as hell for many reasons, probably because they don't imagine very well. Um, or they don't connect with the books. Now, I can always say they connect us because they haven't found the right book for them. Um, so yeah, there could be many reasons why people don't like to read. It's yeah, it's varied, I would say. But I remember I ran across something on IG was doing. I can't remember what her name is. She's really popular. Everybody watches her videos. Black girl, and she posting on when she just realized that some people read books and they don't imagine in their head what they're reading. And she just found that to be strange. And I was like, not that strange. So there's a lot of people are capable of imagining exactly what they're reading, and other people they connect more with the words that they're reading. The words then convey emotion that way, not through, oh, I can see it in my head like a film. I don't operate like that. I can see some things in my head as a film, but I think for the most part, I connect with the words. I connect with what I'm reading. That is the thing that gives me the emotion, whether it be shock, horror, laughter, or whatever it is. It's because I am connected with the words, not that I'm imagining in my head like a film. So that there's a lot of reasons why people have difficulty or don't like reading. It does take an effort to read. This is not a, this is not playing a video game or sitting down to watch a film. It takes work to read. It is you got to put effort into it. So there's a lot of reasons some people don't like to read. Let's see. Um, okay, so Curtis said, wait, no, I have to go back. I missed something. Okay, so Nicole said nothing wrong with the audio. She chose to live in Colorado, so don't see what I would get from someone who well, you can get a lot of things from that. This is why we read, right? Normally, you're reading because you want to hear someone else's experience in doing something. It may not be something that you personally would do, but that doesn't take away from the experience that that person is going through and is writing about. And who knows? There might be a black woman or black man who winds up in a position where they have to move to Colorado or move to some other predominantly white neighborhood somewhere else in the US and have to deal with it. And they can read her experience and say, okay, this is how old girl dealt with it. Now I got something to go on. I can see what I can. So, I mean, if you're not interested, you're just not interested. But yeah. Latrice said, oh God, my ears are still bleeding. So Latrice is making a comment about the audiobook of the love songs of W.B. Du Bois. She says, oh God, her ears are still bleeding. So she did not like that audio. Oh my God, I'm laughing so hard. Curtis says to me, I'm going to be reading the love songs this summer as well. I'm going to be stretching the book out for 2 months since it's so big. Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna be reading. I'm gonna be reading it this year. I just don't know when I'm gonna be reading it, and I don't know how I'm gonna be reading it. So I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to get through some of my other bigger books before I start to worry about love songs. So it'll happen. I just don't know how or when, but it's gonna happen this year. Tracy said, I looked it up. An audio book for Soil is narrated by the author. Oh, okay. It's coming to Dungy that's doing. Okay, that sounds interesting. Nicole said, I thought she was talking about her experience with gardening and also Black people relationship to environment. Well, it's about relationship to environment and gardening, but she's in a predominantly living in a predominantly white neighborhood. Um, yeah, it may not be for you. Nicole said, I think reading is a habit that someone had to get used to. It's not worth it for some people. Um, I feel like it, I mean, some may not worth it for them, but I'm gonna have to agree to disagree. I feel like it's always worth it to you because you're you're making your mind work in a different way. So it's always going to be worth it, in my opinion. You may not like it, but it's going to be worth it. Yeah, I agree, Tracy. Not everything is for everyone, and that's okay. Rosa said, my dad was not a reader, but he took a lot. He took Catherine Goldman, Ernest Gaines on a flight, and he loved it. Yeah, you see, there you go. Because it really stems around finding the right book for you. That's where the issue is. If you can find the book that connects with you, then you're going to love reading. If you're just out here reading just whatever, picking things willy nilly and random, yeah, you're always going to be not happy with what you're reading. So, yeah. Um, because I think as long as people are reading the contracts that sign, then they're good. Okay. Latrice said, so you might not have the same experience. There are three narrators. I don't like the main narrator. And I can't listen to her other books. She narrates either. Now, who is the main narrator? Give me her name. I don't remember. Latrice says, Love Songs is a you book. It's a me book. Are you sure? You think I'm gonna love it? Are you sure? We gonna see. I want to let you know. Rosa said Love Songs was on my radar for this year, but this year is going by so fast. I know, right? But it is this year for me. It ain't, I just don't know when, but it is gonna be this year. And Latrice said, Rosa, I thought you'd already read it. Yeah, me and Rosa are the last people on the planet to read the love songs. I swear we're the last people on the planet to read love songs. Okay, Latrice said she gave 3.5 stars and she's predicting a star for me. You think? Girl, we gonna see. You might have to put some money on that because my 5 star is not, I mean, it's going okay this year, but I don't know. We gonna see. I mean, I have high hopes for it. When it came out, I was really happy that it came out and everything. I got like overwhelmed with hearing people talk about it. I just had to throw it on the side because I was clouding my mind is what everybody else was saying about it. So I said, let me just put this off to another moment. If I don't get on it, like right away, then yeah, I'm gonna wind up, this is gonna be a mess. So I'd rather wait it out, and then go and do it. Okay. I didn't really Ojo. Oh, it's when you yeah, I think I've listened to things from her. I didn't really Ojo. I just can't think of exactly what it was. Was she the one that was reading the middle daughter? Let me see. Was she reading the middle daughter? Because the middle daughter. I know I've listened to something with her. Hmm. Hmm. I don't remember. How come it's not telling me who's reading this book? Hmm. I gotta look, but I think I did. I've listened to some with her. Wait, let's see. Rosa said I haven't read it. There are just so many books TBR. Latrice said was a 5 star for me until 420 pages. So that's about 3 quarters in. Because isn't that book about 600 and some pages? Oh my God. So it was so up to page 420, it was 5 stars. And after that, bloop, it went down to 3.5. Wow. Something went off that you didn't like. DL said, I love I didn't really until she tries to do accents. Ay, 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 ay. Mm. DL said she completely ruined the book for me with this awful southern accent. Ay, 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 ay. She said, you guys have a great weekend. Yeah, you too. Happy Mother's Day to the mamas out there. Enjoy your weekend. Bye, Latrice. Have a good one. Happy Mother's Day to your mama. Tracy said to Rosa, yes, this year is going by quickly, even though it's the longest year ever. I know what you mean, Tracy. Dale said she did the Mothers. Okay, yeah, I think so. Yeah, okay, I know who she is now. Yeah, she's not really good with accents. She needs to stay away from that. They need to just get Robin Miles when they have to do like some heavy hitting accent. Just just the buck stops at Robin Miles. Just get her to it. Because she does that the best. She is the best at that. Okay. Yeah, she did the audio for the Mothers by Britt Bennett. Yeah, Robin Miles is the bomb.com. She can do no wrong in audiobooks. Because if she has to do a southern accent, guess what? It sounds like a southern accent, a real one, and it goes. There's none of this accent up and down, and oh, it's there now, it's not there anymore. No, she's so good at this art. She's literally the best one they've got. Um, Sharon said Robin Miles is amazing. Tracy said Robin Miles can do no wrong, in my opinion. I'm the same, Tracy. She can do no wrong. Scroll says happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Have a great weekend. Yeah, you too. Bye. Yeah, I don't think she can do any wrong either. She hits it spot on when she's doing these audiobooks. I don't have any fault with her reading. And if she has to do a southern accent, she does a good one. Um Now the last one audiobook that I listened to that I was just like, what is it was for the housemaid. Because she was supposed to be doing a Brooklyn accent. At least that's what it sounded like. But the accent was going up and down. Like she would have the Brooklyn accent and it would just kind of waver off. And then it would come back and it would waver off and it would come back. It was weird. Let's see. Tracy said Bonnie Turpin is good too, though. Yeah, she is good, Bonnie Turpin. No problems with Bonnie Turpin. And I can't think of the guy that reads really well. What his name is. I'm trying to think of the one that read the Heaven and Earth grocery store. He was really, really good. He was excellent, the one that read the Heaven and Earth grocery store. He read it really, really well. The Heaven and Earth grocery store, and he read something else that I thought was really good. Uh, let's see. Mm, Dominic Hoffman was really good. The way she did, it's Bonnie Turpin that did The Darkest Child. Oh, very nice. I did not know. Hey, Curly Q, happy Friday. What are you reading? Thank you. Happy Mother's Day to you too. I did not know that she was doing The Darkest Child, Bonnie Turpin. I don't think I have access to an audiobook for The Darkest Child here. For some reason, we don't have access to that. Let me see if it's changed. But the last time I looked, it was no. The last time I looked, it was no, we did not have it. Mm-mm. I don't have access to it, so don't know. Let's see. Curly, you said currently reading Tell Me Everything by Elizabeth Strout. I hear that's really good. I got wound up in a series and just here I am. Well, I feel really bad because Elizabeth Strout is the author that I would like to read, and I have not read anything from her, and I really need to change that. But I feel like if I'm going to change it, I'm going to have to make like a big reading project around it and actually try to read all these books in the right order. To make it so that I can, catch up on this because this is a series that I feel like it's one that is an important read because the characters are not all young and there are not a lot of books where the main characters are over 50. So yeah, very, very important that reading Elizabeth Strout. Curly Q said I wouldn't ever think I'd like her writing, but I enjoy it. It's not quick or twisty, and that's okay for me. Yeah, it's her storytelling is supposed to be excellent. And the characters that she's developed over time with this kind of sort of semi-series, I guess you could say it is. It's kind of like they're same people. It's supposed to be excellent. I haven't heard not a bad thing about that series. So I think it's one of those books that we should try to read. At least I'm going to try to read it. But I got to start from the beginning because I haven't read anything of it. And I feel bad that I haven't read anything. Because I think in the very beginning I wanted to, and for some reason I never made the effort. So now I'm going to have to make an effort if I want to, if I want to catch up with this series properly. To read Elizabeth Strout. So yeah, so that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. This has been great. Have a wonderful weekend with some great reading. And I will see you guys next week with another Friday read. Bye.